All right, everybody, welcome back here. And, last time, of course, we did an updated ranking of all of our Metallica albums. Took a little pause on the Carcass reviews to get that knocked out and everything. But we're right back at it with our next Carcass album. Of course, this time we're looking at their fourth album, dropped in 93 here. Heartwork. And man, what a rare piece here this was to get. I was very, very shocked I found the deal I did on this original press Heartwork here. Definitely a prized piece for sure in my collection. No doubt in my mind. But yeah, this, last time we saw necroticism, a big, evolution point for the band. And as far as the progressive nature, the more structured songs and lengthier songs coming out from these guys on that album. So on this, they kind of expand upon that a little bit. Maybe less of the progressive side of it because the songs aren't quite as lengthy as some of the 7 minute and such tracks off necroticism, but you got the melodies on this album really, really take off here, and you really get to, and the song structure is much more clear on this than, those, especially the first two records. So this is another big, moment in the band. They're like, okay, we're getting more melodic in a lot of parts during this album. And so we kick it off with Buried Dreams. And this one kind of lets you know right off the bat with just that sick riff, man. The riffs on this album are just killer. Absolutely killer. And I'll also say this about the production real quick, because this is probably the best produced Carcass album up at this point here for us. Like obviously the first two were produced like meant to sound nasty and raw, and that's what they were. And the third, and necroticism, it is kind of a blend of that, of the production styles of maybe this, the more clean cut production, really, really smooth stuff like on here, and Symphonies of Sickness with that raw kind of nature to it. But this one is just such clean production, hearing everything just clear as day, heavy as hell. And again, Buried Dreams is just an incredible opener here. I love the riff. This has some of the hookiest riffs in the band's entire discography for sure off this album, and Buried Dreams is one of those. Then we go with Carnal Forge. Man, another sick one here. I love the riff on this one yet again. I mean, the riffs on this album are just, they're massive standouts, and I want to, reiterate too that with some of the melodies and stuff on here, being more melodic, a lot of these tracks, they're still heavy as all get out, man. So don't, let that turn you away, because it is still, I mean, it's still Carcass, right? They've always been Carcass, and they have their sound, but they just have evolved it, and this is the melodic side of them came out more on here. And Carnal Forge, another just fantastic track off here that is really freaking heavy. My favorite coming up though, man, this is one of my favorite songs of these guys ever. No Love Lost. That riff, something else, man. And the chorus and just the aggression and the pissed off, just growl, higher pitch kind of growl vocals. No Love Lost, just crazy hooky, and just I'm telling the riff in this one, and the kind of the time changes at like near the end, like you're a breakdown, that's really cool. But just no Love Lost is one of the best freaking Carcass songs of all time, hands down for me. That one, I'll never forget hearing that one off here and being like, okay, let's put a pin on that one, because that is just a come back to all the time track for me. No Love Lost, top shelf Carcass. In fact, that one, if maybe people don't like some of their more, extreme sounding stuff like on the first two records, and No Love Lost, I could see people getting more into that track with its really hooky chorus. Then we go with the title track, Heartwork, and this one, I love how it starts off the really fast picked riff, but and really that really fast picked riff, it ends up slowing down and becoming kind of the main riff of the song. So it's kind of like a blast at you, with the really fast paced version of that riff, and then it kicks into the actual, more slower riff. And this is another one that is just top freaking shelf, man. One of the best ones off here. That one, this one, and No Love Lost are just phenomenal tunes right there. Then we go on to track number 5 with Embodiment. Another solid one. Can't go wrong with this one either. The shredding all over this album too is just the technicality of the guitar playing that we saw a lot on Necroticism carries over, and especially with this really clean production, man. It's just some of this stuff sounded like neoclassical at times. Some of this shredding on here and everything. But yeah, Embodiment has got another really standout riff on it as well, and chorus. Then we go to this one might be the of all this heavy stuff, this is one of the heaviest ones on here. This Mortal Coil. Love this one, man. This one is fast. This is one of the speedier tracks on here for sure. An absolute standout off here. This Mortal Coil is up there with one of my favorites as well. Then we go with, I'm probably going to butcher saying it, I think it's German or something, right? I'm not really sure. Arbeit macht Fleisch. Really cool freaking song. I really need to look up what that means, right? But really, probably something to do with flesh. But really freaking cool song. Another just kicking tune. I mean, this has been all just fantastic, memorable, standout songs so far. All the way through thus far, and it continues with this one might be my second or third favorite off here. Track number 8, Blind Bleeding the Blind. Love this one, man. I love how shreddy, you get like a really cool and sick shreddy solo on it at the beginning, and then you kind of get this groove, where you just hear the drums and just like a din din, and then just, oh man, love that. I mean, it's got a groove to it, man. And much like this whole album, got that kind of groove to it. Not quite like a death and roll situation, like an Entombed Wolverine Blues kind of vibe. They don't go quite that deep into death and roll, right? But they do have like some of those kind of beats to them and melodies to them that death and roll would separate, like the death and roll subgenre. I think sometimes, like especially with Entombed's Wolverine Blues, kind of takes it a little too far, and it's a little. But that's besides the point. Entombed is for another time, right? But I was just, a lot of people, I've heard some people call this album like a death and roll album, and I just don't really think, I see where they're coming from, but I wouldn't say that. It's more of just melodic death metal for me. I really don't think it's death and roll. But yeah, Blind Bleeding the Blind is a fantastic song. I love that kind of groove to it that it's got. Track number 9 here, Doctrinal Expletives. Really cool, and this is also one of the faster and heaviest ones off here. Not that I mean, all these have a speed to them, right? And really, I mean, besides maybe some of them are kind of more steady pace, but this one is one of the ones that I can maybe see being off of Necroticism, or maybe even one of the first 2 albums, and that kind of goes for this Mortal Coil too. Those ones that they still see, they still kind of carry on their past as well, and incorporate it into their present records. So Doctrinal Expletives, another really cool song, and what a perfect way to end it with track number 10, Death Certificate. Ends with a death certificate, right? And this is a fantastic closer. The lyrics in this one, lyrics all over this thing are really dark and nasty. I mean, you're talking about Carcass here, right? But Death Certificate, I really dig the lyrics and stuff in it, and it just is. It really, not only does the title fit perfect for the closer, but just the song itself, I think, is a beautiful way to wrap up this heavy melodic death metal record. And this one, because I wouldn't go as far as saying Necroticism was a melodic death metal album, even though it had the elements there. This took those melodic elements and Carcass really took the melodic elements from Necroticism and ran with them, and that's where Heartwork comes into play. And really, next time when we look at Swan Song, they take it and run even further with it, which is really interesting to see. Which I've seen some hate on that album and stuff before, but we'll kind of see my thoughts on that next time when we take a look at that. But yeah, Heartwork, one of the biggest albums of these guys. I've seen this be a lot of people's favorites at the top. Will it be mine? We'll have to wait and see when we rank these things, right? But yeah, I've seen it be at number freaking one for a lot of people, and it might just be the most popular Carcass album, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, this is the one I see on a lot of lists and everything for top death metal albums of all time. This is one of them. But yet again, I do see some of the others sprinkled in there too, from time to time. But this album is fan-freaking-tastic. I've always loved this thing, and it definitely impressed me. I didn't expect, for the first time going through Carcass's discography, I remember, it kind of caught me off guard, not even in a bad way, but I was like, man, wow, they're really, got some of these grooves and stuff going and the melodies going. And because I really didn't expect them to go from I expected them to almost take a more progressive, way with things after Necroticism, since that one had like some lengthier tunes and everything on it. But I dig what they did. They kind of, on my first ever listen through of all Carcass's albums a while back, I got to this one. I'm like, this is different. Okay. And it won me over immediately. It didn't take a second listen to click. I mean, it clicked immediately. I just was surprised that's the direction they ended up rolling with. But hey, thankfully they did, because we got this death metal masterpiece right here. So yeah, guys, let's talk about this thing down here. Another really cool looking album cover too, of course, from these guys. Less gruesome than some of their others, but really cool looking. Like a peace symbol with this freaking spine. It actually, and I found this out too, that this album cover was the like this little bone spine thing with the hands and everything was on a Deicide album. So it's like, man, I guess I don't know if it's a tribute to them or what, but I saw that and it never had clicked with me before that, okay, that's where I've seen that. But yeah, that's where I saw that on some list recently, and I'm like, oh my god, wow. I don't know, rip off or tribute, don't know. But this same sculpture, whatever you want to call it's on that Deicide album cover. But anyways, yeah, guys, awesome album with Heartwork. I want to see what your guys' thoughts are on this one right here. Death metal masterpiece. Is it to you? Is it not? Are you guys a fan of the way, the direction Carcass ended up going post-Necroticism, like with this album and even going forward? Or would you have rather them just stuck in that gore grindy or even progressive side that Necroticism went? Personally, I think this was a freaking awesome choice. They could have really gone either way for me, and I would have been down with it probably, but this was a really cool choice to go with, stylistic choice for the band to go with, and we got this amazing piece, so I'm all cool with it. But anyways, guys, yeah, stay tuned next time for the last Carcass album out of the 90s, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, and really the last one for a while. They went on a big hiatus for a long time, until like freaking 2013 or whatever. So yeah, after next time we cover Swan Song, we'll be taking a big jump in time up to like I think 2013. So we're getting closer with this. We still have Swan Song, the 2013, and then the EP, and then I think we got another EP in there, and then of course their latest album. So we still got a few going with them, but this has definitely been an interesting one to dive into again. So stay tuned for Swan Song next time, guys. Like, subscribe, and comment. Thanks.